Tune into the Streets Talk Show with your host, La-Rue Duncan Fowler. It's all about uplifting and encouraging you through real stories from real people. Every week, we chat with folks making a difference in their communities and for God's kingdom. Get ready to be inspired, learn something new, and discover the great plans God has for you. Join us for an amazing episode of the Streets Talk Show with your host, La-Rue Duncan Fowler.
Hey y'all, it's Miss La-Rue, and I'm back at the wellness conference for the youth, Level Up Youth Mental Wellness Conference for the Streets Talk Show on the Daily Gospel Network. And we're here with a young man who is attending the conference. What's your name, young man?
My name is Arthur Hunter, but people call me Opie.
All right, Arthur Hunter. Love that name. And we call him Opie, aka Opie. So Opie, I got a few questions. Thank you, first of all, for coming on the Streets Talk Show. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me today, okay? All right. And so what has been the most inspiring thing you've learned so far from the conference?
The most inspiring thing I've heard was that mental health is not just something you get out of yourself. It's like something you have to educate and get better at. Then what I learned from Coach Kenneth, he's my coach. He's like my CEO of my basketball league. Mm-hmm. He said physical education is like the best thing for mental education because it builds up your mindset. Mm. Like I play basketball, and every time I feel stressed, I can go to the basketball court and shoot some shots, and then I go back home, and then things will feel better.
Wow, yeah, you get those endorphins in your spirit.
Yeah,
that's what it is, and they make you feel happy.
Yeah.
So how has the conference helped you think differently about mental wellness?
It made me think that I could tell people how I feel and not feel insecure about it and uncomfortable. I could feel comfortable talking to people about it. Yeah. I can have a therapist.
I love it. And so which session or speaker has stood out to you the most and why? They all were pretty awesome, huh?
Yeah. I can't really pick a favorite because they all had their own most. They all had their best thing in a unique way.
Mm-hmm. So they all touched you. They all inspired you in different ways.
Yeah.
So that's good. So what was one insight you're taking away from today that you feel could benefit others in your community or with your friends or your schoolmates?
My school, something I can bring to them is that I can tell them not to cause so much violence. Violence is never the answer. Mm-hmm. Self-defense and violence are two different things. Mm-hmm. And I think violence should never be what you think of second or first thing you should think of. It should be the very last thing you should think of before making a decision.
Absolutely. It should be us talking. We can communicate. Yeah. We can learn to disagree, and if we don't agree with something, we can learn to disagree. We can walk away. That doesn't mean we're a punk. That doesn't mean that you could play us or anything like that. We're just choosing a higher road. Violence should always be the last thing. Self-defense is a whole nother issue. I agree with you, Opie. So with that being said, what new strategy or practice are you, you said you do the basketball, but are there other strategies and practices that you're excited to try out after attending this event?
Yeah, I should try talking to people more because I really didn't like talking to people because I felt embarrassed that people wouldn't look at me the same and think I'm weak. Mm-hmm. But I think talking to people helps you out more.
Yeah, see, and look at here. You talking on the Streets Talk Show. I think you got it together, baby boy. It's awesome. So I appreciate you for being on the Streets Talk Show. Thank you so much for coming and sitting down and talking to our people about how you're doing at the wellness. We wish you God's blessing in your life and God's protection. Okay? Thank you, darling. Okay, folks. So that's our last session for today. We appreciate you coming and being on the live stream with us all over social media here for the Youth Wellness Conference. Thank you for hanging in for the day. Like I said, if you are interested, they'll be here tomorrow on Sunday. That's the second day of the conference. Let me give you the address. It's the Level Up Youth Mental Wellness Conference. It is here at Estate Farms, 6240 Excelsior Road, Sacramento, California, 95829. And the sessions go from 9 to 6, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. So we look forward to seeing you. And the host of our session is the Growth Center One Incorporated. They are the host of this session. You just go ahead and go online and go on their website. You can find out all about it. The CEO is Miss Clara Brown. Awesome woman of God. Awesome, awesome, awesome woman of God. So you have a good rest of your day and a good rest of your evening. Thank you again for joining me. Again, I'm Miss La-Rue. If you like to be on the Streets Talk Show, just hit me up on my website, LorettaLaRueDuncanFowler.com. If you're interested in supporting through donations, we're on PayPal. Just put in L LaRue or the Streets Talk Show, and all that information will come up. And again, God's blessing on your life. You take good care.
Thank you for joining us on the Streets Talk Show, hosted by Loretta LaRue Duncan Fowler. The talk show dedicated to uplifting and encouraging you by sharing true stories from individuals making a positive impact in their communities and advancing God's mission. We invite you to tune in weekly as we explore these inspiring journeys. Until our next episode, we wish you God's blessings. Remember, you're part of the Streets Talk Show family. Take care and see you soon from Loretta and the entire team. Thank you for joining us on the Streets Talk Show, hosted by Loretta LaRue Duncan Fowler. The talk show dedicated to uplifting and encouraging you by sharing true stories from individuals making a positive impact in their communities and advancing God's mission. We invite you to tune in weekly as we explore these inspiring journeys. Until our next episode, we wish you God's blessings. Remember, you're part of the Streets Talk Show family. Take care and see you soon from Loretta and the entire team.